Yeah, welcome to the dojo, baby, man. Have no fear. Taekwondo is here, man. Listen, dojo to the moon, to Saturn, and we leaving the solar system. The limps won't even know we exist. What's a limp? It's a simp. Drop the S and give them an L, because that's all they take. You dig? I got a very requested video for y'all today. This video is on aura. As y'all see on the internet, there's a lot of discussion going around this word. This word really been a word. Aura been a word since ancient times, really. Like, it's been mentioned about a lot in Buddhism and in different religions and cultures. So we're not going to tell a history here. What you're here for is how to build your aura. And I've done my research. I've done the seeking of knowledge and information to put something together. I even wrote a little script today. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know me. I'm the improviser guy. I don't ever use a script. I just go off to what's the top of my dome and I just keep the ideas fresh and flowing. I'm also going to do that. The script is going to help you understand. Aura is very simple. Aura is really your energy, your energetic presence. If that's what I'll call it. Aura is your energetic presence. You know, and there are aura killers and aura builders. That's what we're going to separate this video between those two. Aura killers and aura builders. So we all have an aura, right? We all have an energetic presence. We are actually really good at noticing these things if you think about it. Think about the fact that if you walk past the person right now, you could take one look at them and say, damn, they having a bad day. Somebody, who ruined their day. God damn, what's wrong with you? We could see this. We could feel this. If you was to call somebody you know very well right now on the phone, right? You call them. Within 3 seconds of how they say hello, hey, what's up? You could tell if they just woke up, like they're tired. There's a tired, energetic presence to them. There's a, depressed, energetic presence. They're excited. They're in a very good mood. I'm not conflating mood to aura, but I'm just saying that people carry this energetic presence. Somebody go in a room and they're very determined. They're very strong-willed. They're very ambitious. These are things we can tell in a lot of like non-verbal things, a lot of how their tone of voice sounds. We're very good at perceiving energetic presence. But what we want to get to is, how do you build yours? How do you change yours? And why is yours the way it is now? How do you interact and live in the world in a way that you don't like? And then you see this person that you admire. They have such a presence to them, an aura, an effect on others that you so much admire, that you so much want to have for yourself. How did I change my own? How did I create my own? And how did I notice others change theirs? Well, let's get into it. You must feed the energy you're trying to create. I need you to view it like I just said, aura killers and aura builders. So if there's a version of yourself that is confident, that attacks opportunities, that goes for what they want in life, that shows up and shows out, that doesn't duck and doesn't run and doesn't hide and always outside, 10 toes down, staying tall, city hall, never fold. If that version of you exists, right? There's always opportunities to create that version of you. There's opportunities to stay the same in the same situation. Let me give you an example. You're at a job fair, right? There are all these different companies that you can market yourself to or your business to. But you choose to remain silent. You don't even go to the fair. That right there, when even the opportunity to be at that job fair to market yourself, when you go there, you're taking the opportunity to build your aura, to build your presence, to establish who you are as a person, to keep making choices that encourage that confident version of you. To stay home, to say, I can't do it, I won't go. This is a situation of aura building and aura killing. I'm going to be very specific because I had 4 examples of aura killers and 4 examples of aura builders and how you literally feed the energy you're trying to create. Keep this in mind. There's no such thing as fake it till you make it, because your effort and your actions are very much real. So if you're trying to say somebody's faking it, that even that belief right there is trying to counter your genuine effort. Stop viewing it like that. You are genuinely trying to change. Which is why the number one aura builder is an authenticity and sincerity. I'm going to go back and forth between the two. This is the foundation of it all. You have to know how serious you are about what you're about to do, about your life, about how you're choosing to live. Even if you have to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm dead serious. There's no going back to how my life was before. There's no going back to being stuck and depressed and feeling low vibration and low self-esteem. You might have to literally look yourself in the eyes and say, I am changing. I am living differently. And make that commitment. Be authentic and sincere about it. Because when you're met with everyone around you or your current life is trying to keep you the same, people are telling you things like, who do you think you are, or they're trying to make you feel any less sincere, you need to know how serious you are. I'm going to take a sip of my water because we about to go in. As y'all know, the dojo, we go deep, not wide. You know what I'm saying? Let's go in. Let's unpack it, man. Let's go. So sincerity and authenticity, you cultivate that. You help that keep going by standing in your truth. This is a commitment to saying what you mean and meaning what you say. This is a commitment to, I said what I said, I did what I did, and I meant it. This is the living form of that. And mind you, the opposite of this is people pleasing, biting your tongue. Think about what happens to you. Think about how you feel when you do those things. When you bite your tongue and there's something you had to say that you didn't say, think about how that made you feel. Just internalize that right now. Think about that feeling. It makes you feel low. You feel like your energy shrivels. You feel like it doesn't feel good, right? There's an uncomfortable feeling inside of you. No Diddy. I'm not going to keep saying no Diddy during this video. You know what I'm saying? You got to let me go on my rants. But I know some of y'all are like, bro, pause, Todd, pause. That sounds crazy. Let me lock in. Listen, so when you had that weird feeling inside of you, you know what I'm saying? And think of that as a sign, right? Think of it as a sign that you're doing yourself wrong. That's an aura killer right there. Anytime you make a low vibration action based on a low vibration belief and a low vibration truth or a low vibration thought. Authenticity is freedom. Stand in your truth. Even if you're wrong. I'll give an example of that. Let's say I'm in class, right? Or I'm in school. And the teacher asks, what's the answer to this question? Is it 85 or 72? And I'm so afraid to be wrong that I won't give my authentic answer. I think it's 72. If it's 85, guess what? Authenticity is the gateway to growth because now you can be corrected. But how can a problem be fixed that's not addressed or is not exposed? Exposure is a good thing. When you're on the right side, all you got to do is tell the truth. When you're in the right side, all you got to do is get exposed because it'll only open the door for what's more in front of you. So you need to look at exposure, authenticity, and standing in your truth as a good thing because that's the gateway right there. And at the same time, you can't get rid of your truth. Just like when you bite your tongue, just like when you hold back and you there was something you needed to say to a person and you didn't say it, right? Or there's a constant people-pleasing nature to you. So you're always constantly shriveling and catering to others and you're not catering to yourself and feeding your own energy, right? What that is, what would then happen is your truth doesn't go away. You just try to ignore it. You cage it up. You run from it. And again, it's creating chaos within your body and your alignment of yourself. And you're just not going to have a strong aura. You're not going to have a strong energetic presence because selfishness is actually a good thing. We were taught that it was a bad thing. That's actually a contradiction. Being humble is a bad thing. To be humble is to literally make yourself smaller than you actually are. When in fact, you can benefit those around you through your truth. Let's say you say the answer is 72 when the teacher asked that question. Now everybody who thought it was 72 can be corrected. Maybe you're right and you can help them, get to that answer too. You need to literally serve your purpose in whatever position in life that you are. And it comes from authenticity. That's my way. I think that God speaks to us or the universe speaks to us is that it gives us impulsive thoughts or ideas that are genuine to us. And that when we don't stand on them, we suffer. So authenticity creates a nice foundation of just strength. Because even if I'm wrong, I was real. So I can genuinely apologize and say, hey, I can't take back what I said, but I'm sorry for how it made you feel. Or I didn't know that it bothered you that much. You see, there's 3 types of fools as mentioned in Buddhism. The fool that doesn't know that they don't know. This is just ignorance is bliss. The second fool is they know that they don't know, but they think they do. That's arrogance. The third fool, which is the wisest of them all. The third fool doesn't know and they embrace not knowing. They surrender to the ignorance because that opens your mind. And this goes to aura killer number 1. I'm going to run out of water, but we're going to get it done anyway. Aura killer number 1. Right? We're 9 minutes and 30 seconds in. I hope y'all following along so far. Aura killer number 1. Assumptions. An assumption is like a closed-minded imagination. Obvious example, because I'm a dating coach, is that if a guy sees a woman he wants to approach and he makes the assumption that she's going to reject him, he makes the assumption that she's out of his league, he makes the assumption that she's going to say no, you literally don't know. Even if she's standing next to a guy, It could be an assumption that that's her boyfriend. It could be an assumption that she's not going to talk to you because she's standing next to a guy. You literally don't know. Again, the three fools, the wisest of them all, knows they don't know and surrenders to not knowing. So they embrace that ignorance and say, well, let me fuck around and find out. And until you have a lifestyle that fucks around and finds out, all your assumptions are going to be narrow. Your assumptions are narrow, right? Because you're only making an assumption based on what you know. You don't know it all. I don't know it all. So when you make an assumption, there are things you don't know that could change your belief or change your thoughts. And you're never going to find out unless you let that assumption go and embrace your ignorance. So when it comes to assumptions, they're aura killers because if you have a low self-esteem, and I just dropped a video on Patreon called Low Self-Esteem Logic. And when you have low self-esteem, you literally don't even view the world accurately. You have like a delusional, small view of yourself. So when it comes to situations or opportunities, you tell yourself you can't. You tell yourself you shouldn't. You tell yourself you won't. Why? It's not you. You literally talk yourself out of growing and living life to the fullest. So you literally dim your light. You kill your aura with assumptions that are based in weak energies or low vibrational energies. Now, mind you, that's a whole conversation another day. Let me go on that tangent another day. The second aura killer is what I call low vibration beliefs and thoughts. Now, what I'm about to pull up right now, right, is an emotions measured in frequencies, right? Because I think when people say low vibration, y'all like wrap them up into like some sort of like, oh, here go this spiritual heebie-jeebie bullshit. Let me show you something. Let's take an emotional chart. This is like a brain thing, like measured brain frequencies, right? Vitality, tone, and attitude scale. Listen. Look at this shit. Emotion, vibration, thoughts, and motivation. So you see it says increases in strength and energy reserves, balance, even, stable relief, muscle release, energy moves from negative to even region of emotions characterize these called painful or bad, moving downward. Muscles tighten, constrict, or atrophy. Now, the attitude you're likely to hold when you have low vibration emotions or thoughts is, oh no, not again. What's on here? Anger, rage, defiance, boredom, guilt, resentment, remorse, fear, threat, hate, blame, sadness, grief, depleted, loss, burden, hopelessness, resignation, depressed, numb, powerlessness, overwhelmed, frozen, shame, apathy. Apathy means like you don't care. You're indifferent, basically. You don't care about nothing. Helpless, and death. That's the attitude you're likely to hold when you're full of these thoughts and these emotions and these beliefs. The higher you go up, right? Satisfaction, amusement, curiosity, power, strength, discovery, challenge, self-esteem, dignity, duty, obligation, neutral, acceptance, contentment, safety, aplomb, glee, happy, nervous, worry, hyper, surprise, shock, confusion, annoyance. Now, only reason I'm reading this out loud because I don't know how well y'all can actually read this chart. It's almost kind of blurry on my screen. And the attitude you're likely to hold is, thank goodness, here this comes up for my healing. You're embracing it. You're more open-minded. You're more natural with life, right? And think about why this will be an aura builder versus the bottom being an aura killer. Oh no, not again. This energy is very bottom of the barrel. It's not recycling. It's stuck. Oh no, not again. Life is the same. My life sucks. It can't change. It won't change. You rise just one level above that. You see, thank goodness, here this comes up for my healing. That's a very open-minded, embracing, open to the world ass way of living. And mind you, you change. I'm gonna talk about how we can change these energies. I'm just showing y'all these examples. Now, at the top, this energy is recharged and refreshed. Muscles firm. Energy gains from even to positive. Regional emotions characterized as pleasurable or good. Blood flows with vigor. Now, vigor is like strength. It's like an excitement to life. It's like a power. It's like you have intensity is the word I use. You have an intensity to you. Mind you, think of this aura. Think of a person with this aura. Think of a person with this energy, right? We're going to talk about that. What attitude are they likely to hold? Wow, this is fascinating. I'm alive and learning. It's a person who's very aware of how they're living, the benefits of how they're living, and why they want to choose to continually live that way. This is a place I feel as though my emotions and my vibration and my thoughts and my motivation are. And I came from a place of guilt, of fear, of sadness, of grief, of hopelessness. I came from that place and lifted up. So I'm here to tell you, you can do the same. And let's talk about it. And this makes a difference in your aura. This makes the difference of when you walk in a room and you say, I'm here, I chose to be here, and I'm here standing on business, versus going in that room and pretending you're afraid that you're in this room, that you shouldn't be in this room, that you don't deserve to be in this room. It's all in the emotion, the vibration, the thoughts. How do we change this? How do we interact with this? Now, serenity, peace, meta-ness, well-being, joy, enthusiasm, welcome, exhilaration, abundance, compassion, empathy, inspiration, clarity, appreciation, gratitude, devotion, generosity, love, cooperation, and trust. Now, we go back to my first part about, like I said, the low vibrational ones being an aura killer, right? What is the opposite of that? Consistency. Just like for the first one, assumptions was an aura killer. The opposite of that is open-mindedness, because now you're embracing change. So every aura killer and aura builder, I tried to make them opposites. So number one for aura killer, I'm just like reviewing. Number one aura killer was assumptions. Number one aura builder is open-mindedness. Assumptions, you don't embrace change. Open-mindedness, you embrace change. Number two, low vibration beliefs and thoughts. Number two is consistency. Yes, consistency is the reason that all them negative emotions keep showing up. So recognize that pattern. Recognize what you think and how you feel in those moments. And now, in order to break that pattern, you have to make an action. Not a new thought, not a new emotion, an action. Why do you have to work backwards? And why are a lot of people going to say, wait, what? Why would you do that? Because you won't see the light until you go outside. Think of it like that. You won't see things differently until you stand up, until you go to the other side of the grass. It's the action which people call delusional. You must literally be delusional until the lie becomes the truth. And then the truth in this situation is that life is worth living. That I can change my life. That my life might suck right now. Y'all know what I say. It's okay to be broke. It's not okay to stay broke. It's okay to be unhappy. It's not okay to stay unhappy. See, the staying is the consistency. The staying is changing the trajectory or changing the path once you recognize it sucks or you don't like it. So my thing is, people always ask, okay, with consistency, right? Consistency will make what was once, I wrote this word for word, what was once hard to accept and easy to ignore now becomes hard to ignore and easy to accept. You know, once you live consistently, your new life will start opening up. We would never look at a seed we throw in the ground and say, man, this shit not working because it didn't sprout on day 1 or day 2 or day 3 or week 1 or week 2. We would never say that. We would never say that. So why would we not look at ourselves as a living being that also grows? The problem with this consistency is our environment might be killing our aura. You might be surrounded by people, relationships, habits, and things that kill your aura. Write these things down. So when they pop up again, you can prevent them. You can tell that friend, no, I'm not going. You can tell that relative or a person in your life, hey, I don't want to be there. Hey, no, thank you. No is the strongest answer, when it comes to building your aura and changing your life. No. Just 2 letters, 1 word, no. Say no. Easier said than done, blah, 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 blah. But literally, if it's your truth, remember what I said about authenticity. I went for that one first because it just felt the most purposeful. The opposite of authenticity is a lack of action, a lack of standing on your principle. But I heard something before that stuck with me. There is no lack of anything. There's always an abundance in the world. If you lack confidence, what you're really saying is you're abundant of doubt. You have an abundance of doubt. So just misplace that abundance. Change where you're leaning your strength at. So instead of leaning your strength into fear, lean your strength into, you know what? I said what I said, and I'm about to stand on it. You know what? Instead of leaning into, man, I don't know, it's just not really working. Instead of leaning strongly on that, now lean strongly into fuck it. Let's go. I want the smoke behind that shit. Like, the energy is there. You have to transfer. You have to move it. I know I'm using a lot of Spiritual terms and a lot of terms like that. I'm trying to make this easily understandable. I'm trying to give y'all examples because it's the change is like that. It's not overnight, but it's right in front of you. You don't need something random. You don't need some random crystal that all these things people be trying to sell y'all. It's inside of you. It's internal. You have to feed that energy. Look at it like there's a big table, right? There's a round table. And there's like almost like a castle. Like there's an advisor, there's a king, there's a queen, there are the knights at the table. There's or a company, almost like a CEO, a manager, an assistant, a supervisor, all these different roles. You feed the voice whose voice is most powerful. So every time you feed the voice of fear, that becomes the CEO. You can starve that voice by not doing the actions that make it more powerful. You feed the other voice by doing actions that encourage it. You know, every time you do something, your confidence is honed. Confidence is a muscle. You don't have confidence because you have not been building that muscle. You can't just think it's just like there or it's not. You feed it, you hone it, you sharpen it, you work for it. It's not just, don't just think somebody woke up like this. I didn't wake up like this. I didn't wake up successful. I didn't wake up and change my life. I had showed the consistency, and now I reap the benefits of my work. So look at it like that. Remember to understand your consistency makes a difference. I think that when people fall off from their consistency or stop being consistent, is that they let go because the results aren't showing. But in fact, if the results aren't showing, let's do something different. Let's try something new. Let's not give up. You see what I'm saying? Let's be willing to change, not be willing to quit. You see what I'm saying? And that's the difference between growth and staying the same. You go back to your old ways. That old way has to die. You have to literally let it go. It's going to be completely different. You're going to be unrecognizable. Who changed? They say you changed a lot. A lot changed me. Shit. Embrace that. Accept that. Live with that. You'll even come to a new tribe of people. You'll be relatable to a whole different group of people and unrelatable to another group. And your old group might try to hold on to you because they know you're changing. They know that you'll never be the same. But guess what? You can no longer pretend to be. Because that authenticity, something about it, you can't run away from yourself. Like I said earlier, you bite your tongue. You feel it. It's uncomfortable. You can't lie to yourself. You can't get over it. So don't act like you can. Next one. Right? And this will be the last one. Right? The third one is this is where the aura killer and the aura builder don't really match up. But for the third or fourth and final aura killer, right? If I said assumptions, low vibrational beliefs and thoughts, lack of action, the fourth one is bad relationships. And I wrote energy leeches. Let that one sit with y'all. Bad relationships, energy leeches. I'll wait. I'll wait while you sit there and your mind instantly thinks of people. I'll wait because I know the list of people is coming to your mind. And listen, remember what I said about authenticity. Be honest about who's on that list. Be honest. It could be your own brother, sister, cousin, mom, best friend of 10, 20 years. Be honest. Be honest. Because this is my thing with this. It's not your responsibility to be someone's source of happiness. It's not your responsibility to change someone's life. It's not your responsibility to take on their emotional load. The only responsibility you have is to be truthful with yourself, to speak and choose what you say and choose what you do. That is the only responsibility you have. You have limited emotional capacity and emotional ability. You must live in a way that brings you peace. You must live in a way that brings you joy and brings you enthusiasm. And the bad relationships does not mean completely cut them people off. You can love somebody from a distance. It just means that you must start being authentic. And maybe that means challenging that person's opinion. Maybe that means challenging what they think. And guess what? You know what I found out? A person that genuinely loves you, conflict is not a bad thing. Conflict creates clarity. So when y'all disagree, y'all understand each other better. And there might be a big conflict waiting to happen because you've been so inauthentic that there's things about you they don't know. There's opinions you have, they don't know. There's feelings you have, they don't know. That they need to know that you've been holding back. And the moment you embrace that and live in your truth and open up to it, and how nasty and ugly you think it might get. You might even get kicked out if you live with this person. Your life may never be the same. But guess what? This is the change that we're talking about, building our aura. This is the change that we're talking about, changing our life. Because aura is on the outskirts. It's really your core being that matters. So when you change all of this, right? There's no going back. But guess what? From chaos is created order. Or order. I keep saying aura. From chaos is created order. From the ashes rose the phoenix, which was born again. If you got to burn everything down to build anew, this is what it looks like. Die about it or live with it. The choice is yours. I've made mine. I've made mine. And guess what? I've seen you can wake up every day happy and enjoy your life. That you can go from depression to a genuine joy, a genuine just natural peace in yourself, a genuine meditation like in your being, where you just say no. You don't have to be defensive because you don't have to defend something that's not being attacked, that can't be attacked. You just say no. You just live so zen and so sincere. It just is what it is. And you understand that and you accept that. That person is going to feel how they feel. That's their personal responsibility. Their feelings is not your choice and your responsibility. Be honest and authentic to yourself. Feed your king or feed your queen and let them be free. Let them be strong. Let them stand up and make the difference they were born to make. It's like almost children have this naturally. Children just say what they want. A child don't even. Now you do tend to teach children like, hey, there's a better way to say that. Don't say Aunt Kathy's macaroni and cheese was nasty. Just maybe say no thank you, or I've had enough. You know what I'm saying? Like we teach children that, but children don't live like that. Children say, I don't want no more. It's like they'll say that, like, you know what I mean? And there's an authenticity to that. Some people call it being a crash out. Like they're crashing out. You just saying what you want. Listen, call it what you want, label it what you want. I'm just saying if it's your truth, live in your truth and watch how your soul just comes back to your body. Watch how your soul just sprouts when you just speak your truth. Hey, listen, I don't like the way you said that. And I'm saying this out of love, but it really bothered me when you said that. Could you elaborate on what you meant by that? Can you explain what you meant by that? That is a very mature thing to do. Hey, Mom, something I want to tell you, and I just want to be honest about it. And I could be wrong, I could be right, but I'm just trying to be real right now. And I need to say this. I need to get this off my chest. And you can feel how you want to feel and tell me how you feel. I embrace your authenticity, truth. Because that's the thing. When you live in your truth, you embrace both sides. Both sides get to be free now. Because guess what? I'm going to give a dumb example. Let's say I put on an outfit, right? And I'm like, I feel this outfit. This outfit made me feel confident. I love the clothes I had on. Somebody else can say, that's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. That is the worst fit I've ever seen in my life. And we might both be living our truth. I think I threw that shit on. They think that's some bullshit. We both live in our truth. You feel me? Like, it just is what it is. That's freedom. I don't feel obligated to change their mind. They shouldn't feel obligated to change mine. We're just speaking our truth. It's free. You understand? It's no responsibility to anything. It just is what it is. Now, for the last one of let me see, which one did I not do? Oh, failure. This is the last one for aura building. The last one for aura building. I'm gonna go through the list of the 4 again. Open-mindedness to embrace change, consistency to make what was once hard to accept and easy to ignore becomes hard to ignore and easy to accept. You become such a new person to live a new life. You'll just have to reflect and say, wow, this is me now. This is who I am. This is who I've chosen to be. Catch that. The third one, or the first one I mentioned was authenticity and sincerity, standing on your truth. The 4th one for aura building is failure. This might be the most unexpected one, I would believe so, to most people listening to this right now. Failure. How will failure build my aura? How will failure make me walk more proudly, walk more with my chest up and my chin out? How will failure make me stronger? How will my relationship with failure make a difference in my life? Because failure is the key. Failure opens the door. Failure means that you've pushed past a place that was outside of your comfort zone, outside of your range. You failed. You couldn't do it right now. There are plenty of things that you can't do right now, but if you fail enough, you'll be able to do it. Plenty of business owners understand this. Their first 2-3 businesses failed, which made them a successful entrepreneur eventually. You go to the gym right now. You try to do 10 push-ups. I could do 10 easily because I'm just so strong. But all jokes to the left, 10 is a joke to me anyway. If you have not been in the gym, if I haven't been in the gym, right, and I try to do 10, I'm gonna go to my seventh one and be like I'm gonna look like it's an earthquake on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So until I fail and get from 8 to 9 and then eventually fail my way up to 10, I won't get to 10. Failure is the key. Failure, what I wrote for failure is failure builds skills plus comes with winning. All winners, all champions understand that failure is the other side of winning. It'd be like saying, I want to swim without getting wet. It'd be like saying, I want to feel the sun without feeling the heat of the sun. Like, you don't get one without the other. You don't win without the opportunity to fail. You don't. It just comes with the territory. It's a healthy relationship between confidence and strength and failure. Winners do not hate failing. Winners are not afraid to fail. Winners do not think failing is a bad thing. Winners look for failure because when I fail, that'll expose a blind spot or an area in which I had a weakness. And now my weaknesses become my strengths. Now my weaknesses become opportunities for change. There's a quote, right? Or a line, which was actually misquoted and mistranslated. Originally known, or not originally known as, but popularly known as above, so below. But it was mistranslated from the above is of the below and the below is of the above. The example of this is you only get a vaccine from the virus. It's the virus, a dead, weakened version of the virus, which goes into your body. Your immune system responds, and now you're able to fight it when you interact with the real virus. This is the idea that your strengths are within your weaknesses. Your persona, your new version of yourself, your strength is in your shadow. It's in your trauma. It's in your bad experiences. All that you need is right there within you. But you're not seeing it. You're not using it. Failure brings it out. Failure exposes it. Exposure is good. Embrace these things. Live a new life. Build your aura. Have no fear. Taekwondo is here. Big 400K pack on the way. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all learned something. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. You dig.